Real love leaves no room for doubt, but when we're emotionally involved, we can cling to crumbs, believing it's a feast. Did he really love you, or did you just convince yourself he did because you wanted it so badly? Stick around until the end, because I'm going to reveal 9 signs that show he was never truly invested in the relationship. And the last one might completely change your perspective. Sign number 1, lack of communication. There's one thing that separates a healthy relationship from one that's doomed to fail. It's communication. When a man truly cares about you, he wants to know how your day was. He shares details about his life, and he's interested in how you feel. But if you always have to initiate conversations, he responds half-heartedly or avoids deeper talks. That's a major red flag. Lack of communication isn't just about silence, it's also about a lack of interest. If he never asks how you're doing, doesn't share anything about his life, and seems distant, it may be because he simply doesn't care enough to connect emotionally. A man who loves you makes an effort to talk because he knows it strengthens the relationship. And the worst part? When it feels like you're talking to a wall, you open up, try to solve problems, express your feelings, and he just changes the subject or ignores you. This could be a sign that he was never truly invested. But if you think this is bad, wait until you see the next sign. Sign number 2. You were never his priority. In a real relationship, both partners make an effort to be present in each other's lives. But if he always has time for his friends, work, video games, or scrolling through his phone, but never for you, that says a lot about his feelings. When someone loves you, they don't need to be reminded to give you attention. Now, think about this. How many times have you waited for him to text or confirm plans, only to realize he was busy with something else? And when you do make plans, does he take them seriously, or does he treat them as something he can cancel at any moment? A man who truly cares doesn't see spending time with you as a chore. It's something he values. Relationships don't work when only one person is putting in the effort. If he never adjusts his schedule for you, doesn't miss you, or makes it seem like you're just another task to fit into his free time, maybe it's time to see things for what they really are. But this isn't even the worst sign. The next one might be even harder to accept. Sign number 3, no interest in meeting your friends and family. When a man truly loves you, he wants to be a part of your life, and that includes getting to know the people who are important to you. If he's never shown interest in meeting your friends or always finds an excuse to avoid family gatherings, it could be a sign that he doesn't see a future with you. Now, imagine you invite him to a family lunch or a close friend's birthday party, and he always has an excuse. At first, it might seem like a coincidence, but if it becomes a pattern, it's worth questioning. Someone who really cares wants to be there for these moments, even if it's not their favorite thing to do. And it's not just about being physically present. It's about showing interest. A man who truly cares will want to know more about your family, remember your friends' names, and ask questions about them. If he never even brings up the subject, it might be because he simply doesn't care. But there's another sign that might be even more frustrating, and it has everything to do with effort. Sign number 4, minimal effort in the relationship. Love isn't just about feelings, it's about actions. A healthy relationship requires effort from both sides, but if it always feels like you're the one trying harder, something is wrong. A man who truly loves you participates, plans special moments, and shows affection in simple ways. When interest is genuine, effort happens naturally. It doesn't need to be forced. Now, think about this. How many times have you organized dates, solved problems, or tried to maintain the connection while he just went along with whatever was easiest? If he never takes the initiative to do something special, or doesn't even try to improve things when challenges arise, the truth is, you're not a priority to him. Love isn't measured by words. It's measured by actions. And the worst part is that when the other person isn't invested in the relationship, you feel like you have to compensate for their lack of effort. So you give more and more, hoping that one day he'll reciprocate. But deep down, you know he never will. This emotional imbalance becomes even more obvious when the only thing keeping the relationship going is physical intimacy. Sign number 5, only interested in the physical aspect. There's a big difference between attraction and love. If he only shows up when he wants something physical, and outside of that, doesn't show affection, attention, or interest in your life, that's a huge red flag. A real relationship goes beyond desire. It involves emotional connection, partnership, and companionship. When those things are missing, what's left is a shallow and meaningless attachment. Have you ever noticed that after spending time together, he suddenly seems distant or indifferent? If he never makes an effort to extend the moments you share, engage in meaningful conversations, or simply enjoy your company without ulterior motives, it's because his interest is purely physical. Real love doesn't fade when intimacy ends. It grows stronger in everyday moments, and this situation can be even more frustrating because you keep believing things will change. But the truth is, when someone only sees you as a temporary option, they're unlikely to ever truly value you. And if you think this is a cruel way to treat someone, what's coming next might be even worse. Sign number 6. Constant threats of breaking. Every couple has disagreements, but if he constantly threatens to leave whenever things don't go his way, that's not love. A man who truly cares resolves conflicts with maturity. He doesn't turn every argument into an ultimatum. If he keeps saying he's going to walk away every time you disagree, it means the relationship was never a priority for him. This kind of behavior creates an environment of insecurity and fear. You start walking on eggshells, avoiding expressing your feelings so you don't risk losing him. But here's the truth. Someone who truly loves you would never put you in that position. Healthy love seeks solutions, not easy exits. If he's always threatening to leave, it's because he was never really committed in the first place. And the worst part is that many times after saying he's done, he comes back like nothing ever happened, making you believe it was just a moment of anger. But this emotional inconsistency isn't a minor issue. It's a clear sign of disinterest. And when trust starts to fade in a relationship, things only get more exhausting. But before we move on to the next sign, I have something important to share. What makes a man fall deeply in love? It's not what you think. There's something deeply rooted in male psychology that, when triggered, makes any man see you as the only woman in the world. Do you want to know what this secret is? It's in the video I left in the comments. Don't miss it. It will completely change the way you understand love. Sign number 7. Lack of trust. The foundation of any healthy relationship is trust. If he lies, hides things, or makes you feel paranoid for doubting him, that's not a good sign. Real love brings security, not constant uncertainty. When someone truly cares, they don't feel the need for secrets or mind games. Maybe you've already noticed him changing details in his stories, deleting messages, or avoiding simple questions. And when you ask about it, he gets irritated, accuses you of overreacting, or even flips the situation to make it seem like you're the problem. But don't be fooled. Someone with nothing to hide doesn't act like that. The truth is always clear and straightforward. Being with someone should bring peace, not constant suspicion. If you always have that gut feeling that something is off, but he never gives you clear answers, it wears down the relationship and affects your self-esteem. And what's coming next might be even more painful, because it involves something no woman should ever tolerate. Sign number 8. Lack of respect. Respect is one of the pillars of any healthy relationship. If he belittles you, makes jokes at your expense, or ignores your feelings, that's not love. A man who truly cares, values your opinions, takes your emotions seriously, and never tries to put you down, whether in private or in front of others. Sarcastic comments, disguised criticism, or angry outbursts followed by apologies might seem like isolated incidents, but over time, they become a pattern. You start doubting your own worth, accepting things you never would have before, and justifying behaviors that deep down are unjustifiable. Someone who truly loves you nurtures you. They don't hurt you. And the worst part is that disrespect often starts subtly and then escalates. You realize your needs are never considered, your voice is ignored, and the relationship revolves entirely around what he wants. But there's one last sign that might make everything even clearer. And it could be the most decisive one of all. Sign number 9. You never truly felt loved. Deep down, you always knew. Maybe you tried to ignore the signs, convinced yourself that he showed love in his own way, or clung to the few good memories. But if you never truly felt loved, it's because he was never really in this relationship. Real love is light, mutual, and makes you feel special, never like a burden or an obligation. If you have to beg for attention, if every affectionate gesture from him feels calculated, or if, in your heart, there's more doubt than certainty, that's not love. When someone truly loves you, you feel it. You don't have to decode signals, justify behaviors, or settle for crumbs. The right kind of love brings security, not a constant feeling that something is missing. And now comes the most important question. After all this, is it still worth holding on? You deserve so much more than someone who never truly loved you. Maybe it's time to make a decision that could change everything. If this video helped you, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more content like this. Here, we talk about relationships in a real and straightforward way. And now, click on the next video appearing on the screen, because there's one more important sign you need to know.